If you can remember, how many fairs you've been to?
Oh, how many fairs have I been to?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'd have to say probably close to 50, I would think.
Does one stick out?
I would think at least 50. Yeah.
You met a few presidents here, a few future presidents here.
Yes, all that too, yes.
Anything stick out? Give us a memory that sticks out.
The one fair that always sticks in my mind is when I was a kid. I must have been about 7 or 8 years old, and we were standing on the fairway, and jet aircraft flew overhead. It was after World War II, so it must have been around 1947, 48, I can't remember the exact year, and these jets flew overhead without propellers, and I was so fascinated by this as a little kid watching jet aircraft fly over the fair. And I said, I gotta fly. It made me want to fly airplanes. That sticks in my mind more than anything else.
As you well know, good or bad, one of the big things about this fair is the food. So what's your weakness here? What do you have to get every year? Is there one thing?
Absolutely.
What is it?
Pork on a stick. You can't get it anywhere else at any other time of the year. And if you can, it doesn't taste the same.
Plain or barbecue?
Plain. No, not the barbecue. Just a plain pork on a stick. It is delicious. In fact, I'll let you on a little secret. I get a few more and put them in a box and take them home.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
And you spend your time at the pork tent too, don't you?
I do, every year. Spend a little time at the pork tent. But that's always been my favorite thing to have here. Now that hasn't been always. Of course, when I was a kid, there was cotton candy, and I think the first time in my life, I come from a small town, first time in my life I ever had one of those things where they chip ice and put it in a cup and they pour that stuff over it, was here at the Iowa State Fair.
Is that right?
Oh, I just remember those kinds of things when you're a kid coming here. It's just a part of your life.
Now, as you well know, when you work the pork tent, there's some etiquette out there. And if you remember, a couple years ago, we had somebody who flipped it up, dropped it on the ground, scooped it up, and threw it back on the grill.
That wasn't me.
You'd never make that mistake?
No, I did. That was me. First of all, I wouldn't drop it. And of course, I don't know, I've always lived by the 10-second rule. If it's down for less than 10 seconds, it's still good.
But it's tough when you're surrounded by people watching.
I know.
Can't get away with it.
That's a tough one.
Over the years, have you had when we have so many VIPs coming in, whether they're running for office, whether they're president, whoever they are, have you had the chance to take people around on tours of the fair? Do you get to walk around at all with them?
Not much. Mostly I come out here and family and stuff. I've never really taken VIPs around and stuff. I know they've been here, but I tend to let them do their own thing,
Well, if they'd ask you, what do we have to do here, what would you tell them?
What I tell them, visit the Varied Industry Building, of course, and over here, where people bring in all their canned products, the vegetables and the fruits and stuff like that, that there still is a tradition here of Iowans who still know how to can and put things in jars and keep them for the winter. Kind of a lost art, but it's still here.
Does your family have that skill?
Not so much anymore. Used to. We always had a cellar, and we had big gardens, and all winter long we ate from the cellar. The beans, the beets, even sweet corn. My mother would boil the sweet corn, cut it off, and put it in jars and seal it, and do that, and we'd have that during the winter. But we always had our fruit cellar. We always had fruit cellars, but people don't do that anymore. No.
What do you think it is about this? We have about 3 million people in this state. Somehow every summer about 1 million people come to this fair.
That's right.
What is it, do you think, that makes this what it is? How is it so popular?
Well, it's just hard to say. I think it's just, it's families come here. It's non-threatening. You can take your time. A lot of free things to see, and you can buy interesting stuff here. Give me my thing. See, I always buy stuff here. See, I picked this up today. Now look at this now, would you? It's a metal polish. And some guy from Earling, Iowa had it here. And when he showed it to me, I said, I gotta have that. You know, you buy stuff here like this that you can't find anywhere else.
So every year you're bringing this back to the house?
Well,
I
always get something here. Sometimes something bigger, something smaller, but I always get something here. Anyway, that's what's fun here. You can just about do anything. I was reminded earlier this morning, one of my favorite things that happened here, Dave, just a few years ago. I came in the morning, it wasn't a nice day, like it was hot. I was walking around and, you know, doing different things. And later in the day, after I'd finished my stint at the pork tent at lunch, I came out and this guy comes up to me. And he said, Senator Harkin. And he said, I can't remember his name, I'm so-and-so. He said, I saw you earlier walking here this morning. He said, I was going to come up to you and talk to you because I don't agree with anything you stand for. I don't agree with any of your votes, but I thought you needed a day off. What's not to like about the Iowa State Fair?
So even people who don't like you are nice to you.
Even if they don't like it, they're nice to you. So I guess that's what brings people out. Just, I mean, now look at that. Now, where would you ever see something like that?
I can't figure out what it is.
Oh, I don't know either, but that's why you'll never find it anywhere else. Well, I read about this in the paper. This is that tornado thing. Yeah, this is the thing they take out to tornadoes. Mm-hmm. And it's really structurally sound and all that kind of stuff. It's a tornado chaser, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I saw.
Not my cup of tea.
No, not mine either. I can't remember all of it, but I remember, as I said, coming here as a kid. And it was a big thing. It was a big deal when I was a kid to come to the Iowa State Fair. It was like, you know, we didn't have movie theaters and stuff in our small towns and a lot of things to do. But the State Fair was something that you looked forward to every year, and it was just the excitement of it. All of the different foods, the cotton candy, those slush cones. I mean, you don't get that during the year. It was once a year you get that.
When I asked you your favorite food, you said something pretty healthy, pork. You know, there's an awful lot of sweet stuff here.
Oh yeah, I've had mine already.
Stuff not nearly as healthy as that pork. So is there one sweet thing you gotta have? Are you that good to your diet?
No, I'm not that good. I mean, that's another thing about the Iowa State Fair. Your diet goes all to pot.
51 weeks out of the year to make up for it.
Goes all to pot. Sweet? A lot of sweet stuff here. And I guess my tastes have changed over the years and stuff like that. I'll never forget the deep fried Twinkies on a stick. I'll never forget that one. That was good. Then they had the Snickers one year.
Right.
What do they got this year? I didn't even check.
They have some kind of s'mores.
Oh.
I can't think of what's in it. I think it's some kind of deep fried s'mores or something. And those little Rice Krispie, those fair squares.
Oh yeah. Yes, sure.
Except this year they're
gonna fry those.
I don't think it's fried, but it has all kinds of stuff in it, like Snickers, M&Ms, chocolate, peanut butter. It's all kinds of stuff. You have to figure out what's inside. So they've even one-upped themselves on that too, I think.
And you know, I just used to always get, you know, carameled apples here and things like caramel corn. Again, when I was a kid, we never had that kind of stuff. You come here and you get caramel corn. Wonderful stuff. I gotta tell you, I kind of eased off that stuff later in life.
Tougher to walk it off.
It sure is.
All right, last question for people. You know, people are going to see this all over the country.
Yeah.
So for those who have never been here, and since you've said you've been coming here for almost 50 years, what is it about this thing that they're missing? What do they have to come see?
Well, Dave, they've got to come and see what life is like in the heartland of America. You'll see it here. You'll meet all the different kind of people. You meet people from cities, meet from small towns, farmers, farm families, and you just get a feel for middle America like you would never get anywhere else. You'll be able to see things here that you won't see in a store, that you won't see in the malls. you'll see stuff here that you can only see at the Iowa State Fair. And if you're lucky enough to be here at the time with the grandstand show, we have great grandstand shows here. And of course, if you come here, you'll see the largest hog in the world. And you can never see the largest hog in the world anywhere else. Oh, and the butter cow. We can't forget about the butter cow. And this year, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to go see it. They have a chocolate moose.
Right. Life size. Something like that.
I haven't seen it
I haven't seen it yet.
I got to go see the moose. If you want to come here, just Google it. Just Google the Iowa State Fair and you'll get all the information you need.